Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video, and it is time for my big prediction video. The 2019-20 season is almost upon us. It's so close now, so I thought it'd be fun to come on here and give you my predictions for Chelsea's upcoming campaign on a wide range of topics that definitely are unbiased, unpaid, and not influenced at all by my love for Frank Lampard. So 7 questions, 7 predictions to make, so let's get straight into it. Premier League, where do I think Chelsea will finish come the end of the season? Now, there's a lot of debate around this. Us, United, Arsenal, the battle for top 4. Can Frank Lampard retain Champions League football? And I think it'll be close. I think, all of those teams that I've mentioned, us, United and Arsenal, all have flaws. But I'm just going to be a little bit more realistic, and I think based on the hurdles that Lampard has in his first season and the lower expectations, I'm going to go 5th. So I think it will be a battle that Chelsea will be a part of and can compete with. But I think that just in the end, other teams who've been able to strengthen in other areas to us, and the transfer ban, lack of Eden Hazard, and a bunch of other factors, I think will mean Chelsea will miss out on Champions League football, in my opinion. So sorry to be pessimistic on that one, but I actually think there are some other positives in the season that I think will make it a memorable season and one that Chelsea fans will look back on with fond memory. So just going to miss out on the Champions League in the Premier League, in my opinion. The next one, do I think Chelsea will win a trophy? So I'm going to be more optimistic on this one and say yes, I do believe Chelsea can win silverware under Frank Lampard in his first season. I think it's either going to be, say, a League Cup or an FA Cup, probably our most realistic expectations. I think League Cup, as was proven last season, had a great run into the final, unfortunately lost on penalty. So I think Lampard can hopefully do something similar. So I think that overall, I think that's our best chance. And I think it'd be great for instilling a winning mentality into this young group of players that are going to be starting for Lampard this season. And for Chelsea fans as well, a great memory it will be watching Frank Lampard pick up a piece of silverware as Chelsea manager. The next is Champions League. Now, of course, the draw doesn't happen until the end of this month. And I think that low expectations, again, will benefit Chelsea in this factor. I do. I think that Lampard, with his experience as a player playing for Chelsea on big Champions League nights, big two-legged games against Barcelona down the years, all those famous victories and, the Champions League winning run in 2012, I think that experience will help him, and as well, being under a manager like Jose in those situations, I think will be really beneficial for instructing his players, for understanding what those games mean to not only the players, but also the club and the fans. And I think Stamford Bridge, as has been seen down the years, can become an amazing place on those European nights. And my hope is this season Lampard can cultivate something like that if we can get past the group stage and also get further in, and hopefully be able to draw someone like a Real Madrid or a Borussia Dortmund or someone, and some team, we can even draw Liverpool if we were to get into the quarterfinals. What an amazing tie that would be, again, after all the history in the past in the Champions League. But I think that Lampard can go far in the Champions League, in my opinion. I just have that sense. It's more based on emotion. But I think that could be something that Chelsea could utilise and once again really help to develop a young squad that is still growing and learning. Next one, who do I think will be top goal scorer for Chelsea? Now, of course, Eden Hazard has left Stamford Bridge, so Chelsea need to find goals from somewhere. I personally feel, and once again, I'm going to go out on a limb here, I think Tammy Abraham will be Chelsea's top goal scorer. Now, I know the striker position is one that a lot of people are putting Chelsea's maybe upcoming struggles down to. Of course, since Diego Costa's left, we've struggled to replace the goals that he brought to Chelsea and the attributes, and, Morata and, Higuain last season. We've struggled, and all the 3 strikers that we have all have their flaws and all have their concerns and doubts. But I do think Abraham, with the service from the likes of Barkley, who's been brilliant in pre-season, Loftus-Cheek when he comes back, HUDSON-ODOI when he comes back, and Pulisic, I think the formation of the 4-2-3-1 is going to allow a lot of attacking players to get into the box. We've been great at creating chances over pre-season, and I hope that continues into the season. And I think that with his record at Aston Villa last year, really good in the box. And if he's more clinical, I think he can get a good goal return for Chelsea. And I think that'd be a brilliant season for him. Even something like a 12 to 15 goal ratio, I think would be brilliant. And if we can get goals from other places in the team, it could be a very successful season for Lampard. But I think Abraham, I'd love to see him start the season, and I'd love to see him get a lot of goals, get a lot of confidence, really grow, and get support and trust from the supporters who do have doubts about him and his age. Next is Player of the Year. Who do I think will be the best player for Chelsea? I'm going to go with one that I don't think many will go with, and that is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now, of course, he is injured, and it's going to take him a while to get back into full fitness, get back into the team. And also, you know, we've seen with injuries before, it does have obviously a detrimental effect. But I think Loftus-Cheek has come back from injuries before, and the impact he had in a short space of time, really, in the first team under Sarri last year, I think proved to me how crucial he can be for Chelsea. He is a Rolls-Royce midfielder, and I think his time at Crystal Palace and his development in terms of game awareness and intelligence on the pitch really has, for me, put him right up there as one of Chelsea's most crucial players. And I think in that midfield, with the likes of Jorginho and Kante, I think we've got a lovely balance, and I think his physical presence, running with the ball, his skill, also a knack for goals, which Chelsea need, and hopefully, you know, with the likes of Barkley doing more in pre-season and Mount as well, get more goals from central midfield, and Ruben definitely showed that at the back end of last season, and I think he's going to come back, he's going to get back into the team, and I think he's going to really stake his claim, and this will properly be his breakthrough season for Chelsea. I hope really the breakthrough season, the one where he is a guaranteed starter for Lampard, even with that injury. So I'm going to go with Ruben. Young Player of the Year, I think there's quite a few who go with here. You know, Reece James, Bukayo Tomori, Mason Mount, Hudson-ODOI. It all depends on their form, how much game time they get, injuries, all of that stuff that goes on in the season is unpredictable. I'm going to go with Hudson-ODOI, just like Loftus-Cheek, even though he is injured. Hudson-ODOI will be back sooner. And I think when I compare him to other players, young players within the squad, I think Hudson-ODOI is likely to get the most game time when he comes back. I think he will very quickly slot into that right wing position like he was under Sarri before he got injured. And I think his quality, his raw talent and ability, that is exactly what Chelsea need. Chelsea need unpredictability after losing Hazard, and Hudson-ODOI, of course, is not at that level yet, and of course it's only potential at the moment. But with more game time, with more trust from a manager, I think he's going to grow and grow and grow, and I think that's going to be so crucial for him this season. And I think once again he's going to be very important at creating chances, at scoring goals, at being a threat to the opposition. So I think Hudson-ODOI will have a really strong season, even if he's missing the first few weeks of it. And the final one is the most surprising player. So the player that many people probably will write off at the start of the season and don't expect to have that much of an impact, but will actually do the opposite and be really well regarded come May. And that is, for me, Mateo Kovacic, a player who many of us have doubted whether we should have signed him. He was our one big signing of the summer because, of course, he was on loan from Real Madrid last season. He's looked really good in pre-season. He's looked really promising. Lampard has moved him back for a deeper lying midfield role alongside Jorginho, and him and Jorginho has worked really well. Of course, there is some concerns defensively there, but I think him and playing at a deeper role where he isn't expected to be that box-to-box or at least attacking midfielder, I think has helped him. And, you know, he's technically astute as a player. I think that's never been in question. And I think Mönchengladbach showed from deep he can make great runs into the box. He won us a penalty. It was a lovely run. He's lovely with the ball at his feet. And I think that him, even if he's not a starter, I think can have a really good place in Lampard's squad of coming off the bench, even, you know, making starts in several games, you know, Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup, and as well, you know, the odd Premier League game because of fitness and form. I think Kovacic will be a really good player to vary up that midfield and to give a different option. And my hope is a year under his belt in Premier League football, he can really start to grow now and hopefully get more goals and more assists, which is the big thing he needs to add to his game. So I'm going to go with Mateo Kovacic on this one. So that is it for my prediction video. I now pass it over to you guys. What are your predictions? I want you to answer all the questions I have. Top goal scorer, where will we finish in the league? Will we win a trophy, Champions League, young player? All of the stuff in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss an upload from this channel. Thank you guys, as ever, for watching the video. Follow me on Twitter, @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.